Both the development of Luke and Vader in the first and second acts all culminate in the third act confrontation between them, starting with a reunion on Endor. This is not only one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars, but one of my favorite scenes of all time. Luke is once again calm and calculating, keeping his emotions at ease while still using them to his advantage. He's compassionate but firm. He tries his best to reach Anakin. He reminds Vader of the man he used to be. But Vader quickly responds,
"That name no longer has any meaning for me."
Luke continues to tell him that he sees through him and knows that there is good in him. Vader changes the subject to talk about Luke's lightsaber and how powerful he's become. Vader also activates Luke's lightsaber to remind him that he has complete control of the situation, that he could easily kill him if he wanted. It's a defense mechanism against his son's armor-piercing words. This reinforces an important facet of Vader's character. He's reserved. Vader is cold, and he uses this to hide his vulnerable feelings. Vader is so terrifying because we only ever see him cold, calm, collected, or angry. And whenever he is angry, it's never in a vulnerable sense, but in a way that makes him feel even more powerful and threatening. He never loses control. He wields his anger like a blunt weapon in a calculating, commanding manner. So when Vader's mad, it's intimidating.
"You have failed me for the last time, Admiral."
Because of how cold Vader is, he hardly feels human, and this was very much an intentional choice for the character. James Earl Jones was even directed to deliver his lines as if Vader had, quote, limited emotional range. Vader being more machine than man isn't just referencing his suit. Vader only allows himself to be cold or angry because it makes him feel powerful and fuels his ego. When you never allow yourself to feel or express any sort of vulnerability, you feel invincible. Almost everyone in the galaxy either respects or fears Darth Vader. Everyone except the Emperor is beneath him, and he loves it. He revels in it. Vader's ego prevents him from admitting any of his vulnerable feelings. This is why he will murder anybody who sees his real face or hears his real name, because nobody in the galaxy is allowed to know that he's Anakin, that he's human. They must know him as Darth Vader, the invincible, monstrous Dark Lord of the Sith. But this doesn't mean that Vader doesn't have any vulnerability. Deep down, he feels guilt and self-loathing, but he represses it and continues to stroke his ego through a cold attitude and threatening display of his power. Vader solemnly admits that Obi-Wan once saw the good in him too, but doubles down on the power of the dark side. He's too addicted to it to let go of it now. Luke tells him that if he continues on this path, Vader will be forced to kill him.
"If that is your destiny."
Vader acts as if he can coldly kill Luke if he needed to, as if it's just another day on the job, as if he's just one of the other thousands of Jedi he's slain in cold blood. He pretends that the only reason Luke is alive is to use him as a tool, but Luke knows it isn't true. Luke eventually pulls enough strings to get Vader to admit something.
"It is too late for me, son."
Only for Vader to then immediately regress once again as he sends Luke to the Emperor, referring to the dark side as the true nature of the Force.
"Then my father is truly dead."
This last shot of Vader having a solemn, quiet moment to himself as he contemplates everything is so powerful in its subtlety and composition. There's just something so impactful about seeing Vader, a person who would do horribly evil things without a moment's hesitation, ruminate. I also love the set design for this scene. The way Vader and Luke are caged in, emphasizing how both of the characters are trapped, and the personal relationship between the two. There is also a contrast between the green life of Endor and the gray mechanical platform they're on. Lively environments of green and brown are almost always the surroundings of the heroes. The only time where they do settle in a cold environment, Hoth, and this is when they are in a desperate position and lose to the Empire. The villains live in a cold, mechanical world of gray, black, and sometimes red. Red is a color traditionally associated with evil in mythology, and often indicates a poisonous animal in nature. The rebellion is fighting for the Force to return to its natural balanced state by destroying the Empire and the Sith that mechanically forged it that they used to bend the galaxy and the Force to their will, thus going against the natural order. Here we see Luke leave the world of color and life and enter the Empire's domain. However, at the end of the scene, Vader stares out into the wilderness, the first time he's taken a personal look at the light side of the Force in decades.